The following podcast contains real reviews and the ridiculous reactions of two would-be oracles of the internet. The opinions expressed and presented are mere musings, so please humor their hijinks with a laugh and not by taking anything they say seriously. Seriously.
Hello and welcome to ReviewParty.com. I'm Brent.
I'm Matt.
And we have a show for you. It's on the internet. It's called a podcast because we cast it out of a pod. And this one's about the internet, believe it or not. Original concept, I know, but also about internet reviews. That's right. The only podcast on the internet about internet reviews, except like 3 other of them. But this one is special. Tell them why it's special, Matt.
It's special because we take reviews. Hey, get this. The back room secrets. I brought reviews. Brent doesn't know what they are. He brought reviews. I don't know what they are. We're going to read them. We're going to react to them. We're going to goof on them. We're going to riff on them. We're going to go, okay, time for another review. And that's what's going to happen.
When we're so tried and true to that when Audacity decides to explode, post record and we lose a whole episode, we put out a greatest hits instead of reusing those reviews because that would lose the integrity of this.
You think I'm going to bring a review of a rat trap? No, I'm not. Do you think we're going to post an episode where it's just me talking one-sided about a rat trap, leaving space for theoretically Brent to be responding? Probably not.
No, that would be crazy. I have a quick one to start us off, I think. Laoganma Spicy Chili Hot Crisp, restaurant size, 23.63 ounce, authentic Chinese chili oil with country bits from Amazon.
With country bits? What was that?
With crunchy bits, excuse me. With country bits.
A little bit of country in my chili crunch.
If this red bottle with the Chinese grandma was not patriotic enough for you, don't worry, we put in some country bits as well. But it's that classic chili oil. It was one of those where every review's so positive, it drives you to find the naysayer.
Mm-hmm.
Because they must have something going on up there. AJ titles their review, tastes good. Use a little more than you expect. They write. Bright red, almost glows in the dark, but actually not quite as spicy as expected. Just use a little more than you thought necessary. My opinion, if it doesn't make your nose run, it's too bland. 4 stars.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not looking for that on every meal. Sometimes I just want a little zip, a little pep.
Right, right. You imagine using pepper ingredients for flavor and not for spice. Insane concept, I know.
Sometimes you might be on a date with a pretty boy, pretty girl, pretty anything, and you don't. Maybe you're prepping dinner for them even. It's like a fancy date.
Yep.
And I don't know that either one of you wants to be like seeing what level of flowage you got going on in the nostrils.
That's true. That is a classic don't want spicy food situation, the first date.
Right, the same thing with ramen. Don't take them out to a ramen because you don't want that slurpage.
Unless it's that kind of date and you want to show off your slurptitude.
Check out what I got going on here.
Watch this. The whole bowl's noodles and one slurp. I also have this Capri Sun in my pocket. Watch as I drink it in one suck.
Kind of the opposite of a magician, just constantly pulling flags and things out of his mouth. You're just slurping in that one long noodle. How's it one long noodle? Oh, I'll never tell.
I called ahead. They know I'm the one long noodle guy.
But the low spice.
The low spice, I mean, I don't know. That's like a you problem, right? You've like ingested so many exotic, spicy, exotic is giving them too much credit because usually they're made by like some dude in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you've ruined your palate, man. Your palate is toasted.
Maybe he just needs to stir it up because usually there's a pretty good component of oil in that stuff. And if you just take a bit off the top, you're getting mostly oil. You got to get some of the actual crunch, some of the actual chili.
Right, and the crunch ratio seems excellent. You know, there's a lot of little seeds in there. To where I'm scared. I don't know. I think my opinion, that's so out of pocket. Ending your review with my opinion. Don't you think I was what was before was not your opinion in this opinion piece?
No, that was purely analytical.
If it doesn't make your nose run, it's too bland. My nose runs when I eat spicy food, but I don't think that's an indicator.
Yeah, I don't really want something that practically glows in the dark either, that I'm putting in my body.
I want that.
It freaks me out, man.
That was a positive. No, you want some Lauganma, man. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it.
Lauganma.
This is like
Lauganma.
Sriracha before Sriracha. This is the heads. You know, the nerds, the posers are like, hey, let's get some Sriracha. That's Sriracha. The real heads are like, Lauganma, I want to sleep with my Lauganma tonight, Mom. Tuck me in with my Lauganma.
Okay. I see it. I respect it. I had this chili crunch I found at World Market. It was from this like Chicago chef, Girl and the Goat restaurant brand. It was phenomenal. So tasty, so delicious. And I went and looked online and it's been discontinued. And I was like,
I'm going to tell you a little secret.
Yes.
That chef went and opened a Lauganma and poured it in a new container and then sold it.
Well, if so, then she did good branding because I really like the little goat that was on it.
All right, so what you need to do is just 3D print a goat and stick it on your Lauganma, and you'll be right back there, bro.
Yeah, man.
Do you have a review?
I do. As long as we're talking about spicy stuff, I was thinking about bringing a segment where I look at headlines a la like 2000 Dead, Jay Leno. Look at this headline here. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? There was one headline I saw. What's his name? What's that like white boy wide receiver? That's really pretty good.
Jason Tucker. That's just like a white boy
let's
wide
just go with him. Something like he's upset that the NFL is gonna outlaw smelling salts. I was like, man, what an idiot. I can't do it without smelling salts. So I thought, I'm going to go to Amazon, look up some reviews for smelling salts, some real spice. So I found an Amazon review for salts for athletes, for powerlifting, hockey, football, and more. Instant energy, focus, and motivation. Sealed Oni 1-pack. I'm assuming they meant one, but they wrote Oni. I mean, that just makes it sound cool.
Right. Adding a Japanese demon to the end of your product listing is pretty cool.
The bottle looks like it's got like this ruby elephant on it. I mean, I don't know if the actual bottle looks like that. I could jump down to the reviews to see if anyone took a picture of the bottle. Okay, yeah, that is legitimately how jank it looks. I'd totally trust a product that looks like that.
It looks like that image was made in, I don't even want to say Microsoft Paint. Like Photoshop, but there's 2 layers. They're like maybe 3, including the background. There's no effort there.
Anyway, I've got a review from Brenda, and Brenda titles her review Instant Wake Up Call. Brenda writes, I decided to try smelling salts at work to fight off that mid-afternoon slump, and they really do wake you up fast. Just a light waft near your nose delivers a sharp, refreshing burst that clears your head and helps you refocus on tasks. For office use, it's great because you don't need coffee or energy drinks, and the effect is instant. However, the smell is extremely strong, so you definitely don't want to use it in a crowded office where others might notice. 5 stars.
So you're going out to the car to have your smelling salt session? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's okay if Stu is microwaving his fish, his tilapia tacos over there, but make sure no one smells you using your salts.
Imagine being the guy at the office, the smelling salts guy.
Yeah. I mean, the whole review is the odd thing. Most of the reviews were like, it helps me get a good pump. Helps refocus me. I'm not jittery. I really, I can pump harder and stronger. But then Brenda came along and is like, I use it at work. Ugh.
Yeah, What are you doing in an office that requires that type of focus?
Hey, those spreadsheets aren't going to balance themselves.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just kind of want my eyes to be glazed over, and I want to be generally unfocused and like a non-present when I'm in the office personally.
Yeah, it's just totally detached from reality and your id and yourself. A little Severance-y, I assume. I haven't watched Severance, I'm sorry, but I assume that's generally what it's like. You just cut yourself off from your actual feelings and emotions and true life.
Yeah, I watched like the first 2 episodes of Severance just because I was like, what is going on in this show? And then I was like, oh, okay, this show's really cool. I haven't watched more because I was like on a trip and I like watched it with friends and I haven't I like want to watch it with the wife, but we haven't got around to it yet. But it seems like a neat show. And yeah, I do want anyone who's watched Severance will be like, you don't want that, but I do. Not to that sort of dystopian sci-fi level, of course not. But at least a little bit. Yeah,
if my work required me to use smelling salts, I probably wouldn't want to remember that during my regular time.
Yeah, what kind of office job? I mean, maybe if you work in the Pentagon office or something.
Sure. There was one. I did see one other person who's like, I work 3rd shift, and this is great. I don't need to drink coffee.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, for you, if you're operating a forklift in some warehouse at 3 in the morning, fine. But it doesn't sound like that's what Brenda's doing. She's in the office trying to make it not smell like ammonia.
Can't imagine being the smelling salt lady. Like, do you see Brenda today? I saw her hit it 6 times. I'm keeping a tally. Yeah, those little check marks on my whiteboard. Those are Brenda sniffs.
We heard Brenda go.
Right. There's just things you don't want to hear from the cubicle next to you, and someone like doing a line of coke, but it's smelling salts is not one of them.
Generally, I don't want to hear anything from any of the other cubicles at my office.
Yeah. And what happens? You're using this on the daily. What happens when you build that immunity to the salts? What happens when you need stronger smells, more scent, more salts?
Apparently, like, I don't know whether they come in little packets, like little tea bags or something, or how it works, but various people were saying it is stronger when you add water to it.
Oh,
and I don't really know what that awakens.
Yeah, how long until you're fucking microwaving these things, like, to try and like get them going again?
Yeah,
it's just,
boss, we need a sauna in the office. Oh, okay. Why? I gotta steam up with the salts.
Oh, yeah. It's just inevitably a long and lonely road in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I have a review. Speaking of long, lonely roads, I have a review for Hans DeFunco Claymation Premium Men's Hairstyling Clay for super high holds, matte finish, clay and wax hybrid. Ideal texture product for straight, wavy, and thick hair types, 2-ounce travel size.
Let's style it, boys.
Yeah, some hair grease, some mousse, whatever you want to call it. Claymation, they're just adopting that word for themselves. L. Matthew J. titles their review, Something Finally Works. They write, This is the one. No, I can't do Seinfeld the whole. That would be crazy. This is the one. I've been trying to find something that works for styling my hair for almost a decade. Since my previous go-to was discontinued, but there was always something about everything I had tried and I just didn't like. Either the scent would be too strong, the hold wouldn't be enough, there would be too much shine, it would make my hair too dry. I'm picky about my hair products, but Claymation checks every single box for me. I know some have stated that this is kind of pricey, but it is worth it. At least to me it is. After having such a difficult time in the past trying hairstyling products that I liked, I will happily pay a little bit more for this stuff. And you don't need to use a lot for good results, so one container goes a long way, which helps offset the price. Hans Day Funko, please never stop making this stuff. I will use the product for the rest of my life, as long as it's around 5 stars.
And so you bow to the altar of Hans de Funko.
And for what?
For the rest of your life?
You're going to have one hair on your head. You're going to be moosing that up, straight up.
Straight up, like a needle. You're going to be 114 years old, and Hans de Funko is going to stand there with his arms crossed. It's time again. And your teeth, you'll have one little tooth left and one little hair. And they'll say, $45 again. Give it. You'll say, but I have just the one hair.
The contract was signed in Bezos' blood.
You're a subscriber now with your soul.
Your credit card bounced, so I am here.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good to just, I know when you find something that works, it is fantastic. But when that thing that you love gets discontinued, that's also a time to branch out, find something new, not make a blood pledge.
How long has he been doing his hair with mousse? I feel like that's a thing like you do every now and then, or like when you change your haircut, this might not be a mousse applicable haircut anymore.
Yeah, unless he's one of those guys who like gets cut every week to keep it clean, keep it consistent. But bruh,
what a lifestyle.
That sure ain't me. It's like a couple of months pass by when the cut is fresh. Sure, I'm gonna be trying to poof it up like I'm a little cockatool or something. But when it gets too long, any amount of clay pomade I put in it, it's gonna floop over and flop over. It's too much here to do much with, so I'm just gonna let it do its own thing.
Yeah, the type of guy that's been going to the same barber every weekend for 20 years. I gotta tell you about this Hans de Funko. They don't care.
What color is this stuff? Does it have a color?
It is white.
Okay.
Off, and the goo itself is off-white.
Okay. I feel like I've seen some Hans de Funkalicious that was like, what's the, like double mint gum green.
Oh.
I don't want to put that in my hair.
Yeah, that's the type of like hair product they'd use in like World War II.
It smells vaguely like sawdust. Okay.
Now that he mentions it, I was like, when you're bald, bro, like, are you going to need hair products? Like, have a little sense of your mortality here in this review.
He's going to have his eyebrows sticking straight out.
But I think of my grandpa. Bro was moosing his hair till the day he died. He was in that bathroom like, so and then like combing it back, doing
the grease on.
Get the grease on, comb it back, and man's look slick. I can't deny it, the lifestyle, I guess, but maybe it's because I don't know. I do and don't care about my appearance. I just don't care about it in this type of way at all.
Yeah, where you need to have that certain specific product that checks all the boxes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I think effort is attractive, but effort in dumb ways, like effort towards dumb, vapid things is unattractive, at least in my book. And this, I think that's that's the rub for me. Like, this is a lot of effort and money for like only maybe making your hair look better sometimes.
Yeah, a slight imperceptible difference, except to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see him go out in the wild without it someday. I bet he'd get some compliments, so it would change his whole life up.
Yeah, man.
Just because people like it, people like different. They want to notice something different and compliment you, so they can, they can also feel good for noticing. And it's sort of it's I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Kumbaya.
Yeah. Hey, what's different about you? Did you shit your pants today? No, I got new glasses. That kind of conversation.
Wow, you were walking with some real confidence, so I thought, it's one or the other.
Thank you for noticing. And then you improve rapport with your coworker. And then you go back and huff some smelling salts, and everyone's having a good time, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna it's a smelling salt break. Huff around the water cooler to really juice them up.
Yeah, instead of a water cooler at the review party office, it's just like a mountainous pile of smelling salts.
Take a little spray bottle and activate it.
No, one of those big wooden spoons, like in a sauna. You gotta pour the water delicately over it. And the green fumes start to waft up. Then we got a dude with like an old Japanese fan and Uchiha, and he starts around the whole office. Okay, yeah, we're gonna take a break though.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to our lovely little podcast. If you'd like to go above and beyond in supporting our show, or have the most fabulous conversation starter since sliced bread, go to reviewparty.com. Click on shop and explore some fabulous t-shirt designs.
Where's your favorite place to wear a t-shirt?
On my body.
Mine is at the store.
That is a good place to wear a t-shirt. Reviewparty.com. Click shop.
Why stop there?
Don't stop now.
Don't stop me now, because I'm buying a t-shirt. I'm buying a shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second half of this episode, and welcome to Ed and Eddie. That's not it. Welcome to Thanks, Abby. It's a segment where I take Dear Abby's from the newspaper and read them. They're kind of like reviews of people's lives and situations. And just as we respond to reviews, Abby responds to these people, but maybe we'll respond too and give our take. If you never heard of Dear Abby, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but hey.
Yeah, read a paper, or I don't know. It's probably only an American thing, but
probably. Abby's our friend. That's all you need to know.
She's our friend. She's good. She's good people.
Dear Abby, an old friend of 50 years has recently been diagnosed with early Alzheimer's. She's still conducting her life as usual, driving and taking care of her banking, etc. However, she has lost her filter and talks to me about my figure. Quote, your thighs are shockingly thin. And also my health. Quote, are you going to die? My mother had a cough like that, and she died. I am struggling to control my anger at her presumptuousness and holding myself back from some very apt and mean comebacks. I don't seem to be able to let this go. I don't want to abandon her during this time. I took care of my husband with dementia for 17 years, but at the same time, I don't need to spend weeks spinning after her insensitive and cruel comments. Any ideas? Insulted in San Francisco. Do you have any response?
This is a sensitive one, right? This one's hard to navigate.
It's a little sensitive.
Abby type touch, but my initial instinct, if I'm going to be honest, is to buck up a little bit.
Yeah.
You've had a friend for 50 years. and you're still that wrapped up in your self-image of like how big your thighs are, and maybe it's a sensitive area, you know, that's why I was hesitant to say, but like, are old ladies really that touchy about their appearance? I guess they are. I don't know. When I'm like 60, I'm just gonna be Jabba the Hutt and not really care about that kind of stuff.
I think that's a good outlook. Abby writes, Dear Insulted, if your friend is still well enough to conduct her life as usual, she is also well enough to be told that you don't appreciate her comments. You don't have to jump down her throat, but do tell her that if they don't stop, she will be seeing less of you. When her Alzheimer's worsens, you may have to repeat it or redirect the conversation away from you. That's a good touch, Abby.
Yeah. It sounds like she knows what she's talking about.
Moving on. Dear Abby, I have been working with a personal trainer for a year who just gave me the bad news that he may be leaving soon for a promotion in Chicago. I'm happy he's so motivated and hardworking, but I have grown to adore him. I feel like we're connected. Lately, when I think about his leaving, it almost makes me cry. He's so kind, protective, funny, and sweet to me. He mentioned in one of our first sessions that he was attracted to me. He tells me I'm beautiful, and it makes me smile. If he moves away, it will leave a hole in my heart. I feel like he's forgetting everything we have shared. I text him, but don't want to be a pest. Should I tell him how I feel before it's too late? Does it seem clingy? How do I know if he feels the same way about me without making myself look like a fool? Worked up in Phoenix.
See, I'm not going to be nice about this one. This is not sensitive. This type of rich person is like, they need to be put in a Soylent Green grinder so they can actually contribute to society. Because like, this is fucking ridiculous, bro. It's your personal trainer. Like, they're doing that probably just so you pay them more. And like, if you're feeling that type of way about your personal trainer, your person who tells you how to exercise, which like, read a fucking book or an article online and you won't need that person. Lots of people have personal trainers for good reasons, so don't get me wrong, but this is not one of them. I'm very confident. And like, it's just, if that you're having that type of feelings, like, that's stuff you need to see a fucking therapist about, not like, maybe I'll go to Chicago for a weekend to see him. No, those thoughts are terrible. Like, this is nuts.
I love that. Thank you. Abby writes, you wrote that your trainer said he may be moving to Chicago. How definite is it? Forgive me if this seems harsh, but if your feelings are reciprocated, your trainer would invite you to move to Chicago with him, or at least find time to see you outside of your paid sessions. If you think it would help you to express your feelings to him, say so. It's a huge compliment, and he should regard it as such. I don't think you have anything to lose by being honest.
She's like, bitch, put your money where your mouth is. Do it. You're so fucking into it. Why don't you say something about it?
So convinced.
Yep. And she won't because she knows deep down that there's nothing there, but she could never admit it to herself. No, in that type of way.
Moving on, they'll get weirder and weirder. Dear Abby, I found out that behind my back, my best friend has been secretly growing hair for the past year. He knows I have been balding for many years. Although I have accepted my follicular fate, he knows I constantly search for self-improvement in my life. What bothers me is that he didn't share the information until I mentioned I was thinking about trying Rogaine. That is when he told me he has been using a similar product for the past year, and it seems to be working. He even took off his baseball cap, which he has been curiously wearing for a year, to show me the modest results. I doubt he would have shared this if I hadn't raised the subject. I feel deeply shafted by this secrecy, and I don't see it as such a private matter that it had to be concealed. I do understand that he may have felt embarrassed to admit it bothered him, and that he was taking steps to address the issue. What is the rule of etiquette under the circumstances? Should a person share self-improvement methods that are modestly successful with a close friend who would clearly benefit from the information, assuming it is not so personal or private that it cannot be shared? Shafted in Pennsylvania.
Matt, I have a confession to make.
Yeah?
I've been taking store brand men's multivitamins for years and I haven't told you.
How dare you? I've been seeking ways to get my iron, calcium, vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D, all in one convenient pill.
I know. And if I just told you, your brain would have surged with information about the world and things available to us in it. But I couldn't bring myself to do it. No, dude, it's probably just something he never thought to mention, or something he is personal to him and is a little weird. If I'm using Rogaine, probably not many people are knowing about it except my wife, unless it comes up in conversation. That's what friendships are like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a personal type of thing. One's appearance is pretty personal, I'd say, and not everyone wants to just divulge. Hey, you see the game this weekend? Yeah, and I also started using Rogaine, just so you know, in case you were wondering.
Right. Like, what level of obligation of, like, information about their life does this friend have to you?
How insulted would you be? Hey, I know you've been balding for a number of years. Just so you know, I started Rogaine in case you might need it, buddy.
Yeah, your bald ass is going to need some of this, bro.
Yeah, it's got modest results for me. I'm going to wear a ball cap for about a year straight. So I'm going to hide it from everybody, but not you, my good friend.
Yeah, it seems... There's a lot. It seems like projecting. There's a lot of self-conscious energy going on, and it's a lot to hold on one shoulder, so it's being spread around as it often is.
Yeah, Abby's pretty to the point. There is no rule of etiquette that dictates anyone must share this kind of information. As close as you may think you are to this friend, try to remember that not everyone's comfortable talking about medical interventions they're using for self-improvement. This includes plastic surgery, weight loss drugs, and cures for baldness, a condition suffered by members of both sexes. Your friend was nice to mention that he's been using a similar product to the one you were contemplating, but he was under no requirement to do so. Yeah.
She was a little less mean about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's Abby.
But, yeah. Sometimes she can rip them, but I guess this
pieces.
She felt bad for this bald bastard.
We'll end with this one. It's another potentially touchy subject, but also features a ridiculous character. Dear Abby, a few months ago, I found out my adult child is transgender. Nobody knows except for me, my husband, and my other child. Until this year, I have always worked in a very caring, loving, and supporting environment. Recently, I overheard a new male coworker say in a high-pitched voice, I'm transgender, while spinning in circles and waving a scarf around his head. I was floored. I wanted to say something to him about that being inappropriate and hurtful, but I was speechless. I have never encountered this type of behavior. How do I handle this if something similar happens again? My child is not ready for the world to know, so I need to be careful. I'm kicking myself for not speaking up at the time. Regretful in the Midwest.
One, I want to say, don't feel bad for not speaking up. That is a hard situation to be faced with. Someone being, flagrantly, blatantly, overtly homophobic and awful in your place of work. A coworker. It's hard to be professional in that situation. It's hard to have that gut reaction to know what you should do. Don't beat yourself up. You're not a bad ally because you didn't call someone out. Sometimes it happens so freaking fast sometimes, and it's hard to know what to do. It's a scary situation, basically. Number 2, report that motherfucker to HR so fast. Being a good ally, I don't like tattling. Especially in the workplace. I'm a big you do you type guy, but not only for your son or daughter's sake, but for other possibly closeted transgender or homosexual individuals in your or queer in your workplace. If you want to be a good ally, your work is to make them feel as safe as possible in any environment that you're also in. And motherfucker espousing that, they should know that other people in the office are not cool with that. And even if they, won't know directly, they're not going to get a newsletter. Hey, Chet, was fired for being a total douchebag, you can. They'll get wind. They'll realize like, oh, Chet's not around anymore, and he was just saying some stuff the other day.
What happened to that new guy? Oh, well,
Right. Yeah, and that hopefully will make them feel safer because they deserve to feel safe at the workplace just like anybody else.
Yeah. Abby cuts pretty clearly on this one too. Dear Regretful, it is unfortunate that transgender people who make up less than 1% of the population are being scapegoated by ignorant, ill-informed individuals. Gender identity disorder is not contagious. Trans people are a danger to no one, and they don't deserve to be ridiculed. The next time this happens, and it may, don't be shy about telling your coworker that what he's doing is inappropriate and hurtful, and not to do it in front of you again.
Yeah. Take it right to him. I think that's I wouldn't wait for the next opportunity of ignorance. I would just cut that shit off as much as I could, and maybe HR wouldn't be cooperative. So yeah, it is important to just call it out directly, because then, as an ally, people will see, hey, oh, this person is not afraid to go up to bat. It's good for people that need protecting, and it's good for the motherfuckers who want to espouse ignorance for their own amusement or whatever, to know that, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that around here. I'll get called out. Because they hate getting called out.
Oh, yeah.
That's sort of the next scary part of it, though, is like, how do you navigate that conversation where they're trying to like logically like avoid shame? Because they have no self-confidence. If they're lashing out, marginalized people like that, they're a sad little person.
What is going on that you're doing that in the office or anywhere? But
no, Abby's best point is 1% of the population and getting scorned for what? For fucking Bob's weird. But bro's probably got the weirdest feelings about the whole thing, and he's, in order to feel better about those, he's got to be a weirdo. But thanks, Abby.
Thanks, Abby. Real one.
The real one. Keeping it real, as always. I have 2 reviews from people who are not keeping it real.
Oh.
In any sense of the word. Maybe they are, but as a nerd, these are some unreal reviews. I have reviews from IMDb for the movie Alien. 1979, I believe. Yes. Oh, I'm firing on all cylinders. This is a review from Scriff 998. This is, of course, very highly reviewed by users on IMDb, so I found some negative reviews. If you want to go read some normal good reviews, they're on that IMDb page, but these are the ugly ones. In space! No one can hear you yawn. No. I read all the great reviews on this film, and I wondered if everyone but me had lost their mind. At best, this film was average. It had some striking visuals and a few good, scary scenes. The problem is the movie takes way too long to get to those scenes. The characters are one-dimensional, the dialogue is boring and empty, and often incoherent. A lot of the movie is poorly lit. Between that and obscure shots of the alien and blinking computer lights and meaningless images on the computer screens and technical talk, there were parts where I didn't know or care what was going on. Very little of it was entertaining. The majority of the film just bored me. The most overrated horror movie ever. 4 out of 10.
Okay.
I didn't really understand the words anyone was saying in the film, but when they talked, it made me feel dumb. So I was pretty bored, actually.
This thing set in the darkness of space, the black void of space. I wish it were better lit. Somehow, this horror movie, I wish it were a little bit better lit.
And that is a fair criticism sometimes. Some modern horror movies are weirdly dark, or you'll go to a movie theater where they don't color correct anything. They just let it rip. But I seen the Alien, and I seen, when I was seeing it, I was seeing things, not just darkness.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that, of course, but that's sort of the mood.
I seen eyes bugging out. I seen creepums crawling around. People screaming.
Yeah, and to me, the dialogue's very excellent in these movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's very real. It feels like oh, these are some people that are on some crappy job for their like spaceship semi-truck company,
Right,
and things are going bad.
It's so immersive immediately. You just feel like you're in that world. Due to the dialogue, the set design, the costumes, everything puts you there so quickly.
Right. The cast isn't some like ragtag action movie superstar cast. It's like the manager and the assistant manager and like the maintenance guy who's like an actual idiot and like the science guy who's like an actual weirdo. You know, just like when you go to work and everyone's weird and you have to deal with them all day.
There's the guy over there smelling salts, being transphobic, complaining about going to get shopping carts.
Yeah, the transphobic guy's in the corner. Listen, if we want to beat this thing, we got to smell all these salts. And, you know, you got it. That the horrors of navigating those people is sort of part of the horror of the movie, the sort of dystopian overtones, I think.
Meanwhile, you're just trying to make it through the day alive. Oh, hey, go figure. It's every day's a horror.
Right. Right. Your one coworker who like you like hanging out with and, you know, talks with some sense in their brains every now and then died. Or, you know, just like when your one good coworker is on vacation for a month, it just like makes work crappy. And that's horrifying in some ways. But yeah, that's enough. That one, let's talk about Dead 47548s. Did I just get punked? It's from 2008. That dates this.
Okay.
Incredibly. I'm kind of at a loss for words. Needless to say, I'm very disappointed. I thought the film was one of the most excruciatingly dull I've ever seen. It just dragged on, with even violent scenes where the alien attacks being completely uninteresting. Because you never see anything that happens. It's just some blurs, some terrible acting, a close-up of a mouth, and it's over. The characters were total cliches and completely uninteresting ones at that. I didn't care about what was going to happen to them. I was just praying they all died and the film ended an hour before it was supposed to. The film wasn't remotely suspenseful or engaging. A lot of scenes were unintentionally laughable because of how absurd they were, like the one in the picture above. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Or because of how contrived and idiotic they were, like Ash being a robot. As much as I want to give this film a below average rating, though, there's no denying its technical aspects are phenomenal. The art direction and makeup completely revolutionized science fiction, and the cinematography is ingenious. But when all is said and done, I was just bored to tears and extremely disappointed. 5 out of 10.
Okay.
These people need to understand what the fuck a metaphor is before they watch some like heady 1970s sci-fi. Oh, your coworker that's really weird the whole time and like makes your life miserable at work is actually a robot designed by corporate to make your life miserable and do alternative goals. Yeah, I wonder how that could apply to real life, you know? Yeah, this movie says a lot about how coworkers suck, and I can just relate to it, I guess.
And, you know, I hate to bring this up, but I really hate that part in Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock's, quote, classic, where we don't, like, actually see the knife plunging into the lady in the shower. We just see, like, a hand clutching the shower curtain and the ring slowly being ripped off and blood circling down the drain.
Yeah, what do they just want, like, horror porn? They just want like actual like smut where people like you see knives going in or something.
Total gore fest. No,
I guess I don't know when that happens in horror movies. Sometimes that's like the break of the suspension of disbelief for me. Because like I don't know, someone's head getting cut in half is inevitably going to look a little bit cartoony.
Yes, absolutely.
Like. Yeah, there's at some point in that, even if it's wonderful practical effects, like it's gonna, your brain is gonna know that's not real.
Yeah, thankfully we don't, we can't say, oh yeah, that's exactly how that looks.
Yeah, but like when it's not showing everything and it forces your brain. That's what these people have no imagination. It forces your brain to imagine the scary parts, which your brain is much scarier than anything they could show on screen, right?
Yep.
Which, it talks to the atmosphere, and I've watched this semi recently. It looks so much better than so many modern horror movies and sci-fi movies. It's crazy. Oh my god! 71 people found this helpful, but thank goodness 116 downvotes.
Okay.
What else? Oh yeah, they just talked about the dialogue. I don't know. I think I'm even in 2008, people weren't like going outside and talking to people and stuff.
They were sitting inside watching a documentary about Balloon Boy or whatever.
Yeah.
So around that time.
That's funny. You can click on their review and or click on their profile. They stopped writing reviews in 2009. I wonder what they're up to these days.
Sitting in a basement watching cable news.
I had almost 300 reviews.
That is
and they hung up the hat.
Huh.
It's crazy. They're giving all these shitty movies like 9s and stuff. What about Alien, brother? Anyway, do you have a review? Or we could just we can get out of here.
You want to get out of here? You want a quickie?
Let's just hit me with a quick one.
I got a quickie. I got an Amazon review. This brings me back to, I guess, part of the Dear Abby. I got an Amazon review for a 7D, the letter D, head shavers for bald men, 5-in-1 Kenzen electric head shaver, head electric razor with nose hair and beard trimmer, cordless, rechargeable, IP x6 waterproof wet dry LED display gifts travel case. It's like a razor with 7 heads on it, so it's kind of like it can curve around your head to make you the good bald.
You've been shaving your head and you haven't told me. I thought we were friends.
KB titles a review, great gifts for dads with no hobbies or hair. And they write, no one ever knows what to get a dad. Luckily, my dad is bald, so this seemed like a good option. He uses it a lot because of the bald thing. It is really good about making sure he stays bald, from what I can tell. I would buy it again if he ever wanted to be double bald. 5 stars.
That's very cute.
That's the mindset that you need to have if you're in the bald club.
Yes.
Hey, buddy, I'm shaving my head with this thing. Hey, my guy, Rogaine might help your hair grow back. I don't know. Different strokes for different folks, but here we are.
There's like the enlightened bald and there's like the unenlightened bald. That person earlier was unenlightened. I feel like this dad and their kid, making so many fun jokes. Mm-hmm. Enlightened bald person shaving their head with a cool razor, being confident. Yeah, I got a little nub over here, so what? It's the people making fun of the bald people who are, that's the third category of evil dredges. There's a shaving your balls joke somewhere in there, but I'll leave it at that. Thank you for listening to ReviewParty.com this week. We got new episodes every Tuesday. That's right. # Tuesday Reviews Day. If you want to send in a review for us to make some ha-has over, we'd love to have them. Just include a hyperlink or a screenshot of the review and send it to reviewparty.com@gmail.com. Include your name. We want to give you credit for that.
If you want to reach out to us in some other way, shape, and form, you can find us on social media at reviewparty.com on Instagram and TikTok, at reviewpartypod on Twitter/X. You can search for us on YouTube, Letterboxd. You can find us all over the place. I just saw Superman. Did you see that? One of us should write a review.
I want it. I really want to see it.
It's good. It's a good, fun time.
Yeah, I saw Fantastic Four before Superman. Okay. That's like comic book nerd sacrilege. Who likes Fantastic Four?
I haven't seen that yet. But either way, Letterboxd, there's reviews there. Some of them we've written. Or we've got our website, reviewparty.com. What's there? Blogs, blue, shop, secrets galore. It's the place you want to find yourself on a every day, every afternoon.
Thanks to our buddies at Nosebleeds for letting us use their jam, Bread for Breakfast. You heard it throughout the episode. You're about to hear some of it again. If you like that song, you can find that one and way more tasty jams. Spotify is a good place to do it. Nosebleeds, just one word. And a review to send us off. Follow, subscribe, favorite, whatever the button is, wherever you listen to the podcast, hit it. It helps us out a lot. This is a review from IMDb for the movie Weapons.
Ooh.
This is topical. It's like all the vowels are removed, but I think it's John Tedder. JHNTDDR writes, just dumb. They write, don't believe the hype. This isn't a horror flick. Think about how realistic movies like Saw are, and you can be maybe understood why you hate this movie. I'd even tried to avoid any discussion of this film and was successful, but still found the premise of the movie unbelievable, unrealistic, and generally dull. 0 stars.
You're part of the discussion now, bro.
No! The review's like deleted from existence. He's teleported to a room where he only discusses weapons.